I remember that evening. It had been roughly about 3 weeks since Ben had managed to find this guy, and we knew little to nothing about him. So, I decided to invite him to one of my favorite pubs in the living world near my old college campus in St. Louis. I checked my watch, 9:45 p.m. He was around 15 minutes late now. I grabbed my jacket and was about to head out when he came in, panting and trying to catch his breath. I sat back down in my booth, waiting for him to come sit with me. "Hey, Vega, is it?" he inquired. I nodded, motioning for him to come sit down. He sat across from me, sighing. The guy was soaked from head to toe. Did he run all the way here in the rain? I couldn't help but feel bad for him. "The name's Baker. You may remember me from a few weeks ago when I first showed up. There's no need for code names here, Baker. The people here are safe, don't worry about it," I assured him. Baker tensed up, looking around at the half-empty pub. You sure?" I mean, fuck dude, he didn't seem to trust me just yet. Fair enough, I decided. He ordered himself a shot of whiskey, and we sat there for a good hour in mostly silence. He was really uneasy. "I invited you here because I wanted to get to know you since we're going to be business partners from here on out. There's nothing to worry about, I promise." I didn't want to push him too much, but I was getting tired of sitting there in silence. He sighed, drinking his 5th shot of whiskey. "I'm not trying to be an asshole, Vega, I promise. I'm just," he trailed off, looking at the table. "You're what?" "Sometimes it's hard for me to open up to people," he finished after lighting a cigarette and inhaling the smoke. I found it a bit surprising that he smoked. Not necessarily in a bad way, more so in the fact that he didn't look like the type of person to smoke, if that makes sense. "Why is that?" I asked him, curious. He bit his lip, trying to avoid eye contact. "You don't have to tell me. If no, it's okay. I'm sorry, it's still a very fresh wound for me, but I need to talk about it. Maybe talking about it will make me feel better. It seems like every time I open up to people, I turn them away, or you lose them." He nodded, and I could see him trying his best to not cry. He ordered a beer this time as he began to open up to me. "I've lost a lot of people because of my line of work. My daughter, my friends, her. God, I was an idiot to think it would end like a fairy tale." "Did you guys break up or something?" I asked, and Baker shook his head. "No, everything was going great. I asked her to marry me, and she said yes. Everything was perfect. Then, everything went to shit when timelines started merging. You know, the blackout. It was like the St. Louis incident all over again. It's pretty safe to say she's dead." "Berkeley's mom?" I asked him. He nodded. "My Berkeley, yes. This shit will never not be fucking weird to me, Baker," I told him. He let out a soft chuckle before taking a long swig of beer. "Night after it happened, I tried to overdose on pills. I was sicker than a fucking dog that morning. I should have known it wouldn't have worked. I realized that she would want me to see this through to the end, and I don't want to disappoint her." I listened to him. I know what it's like to lose someone you love, so I felt for him and did what I could to comfort him. "You know, it's possible she's not dead," I told Baker reassuringly. He merely shrugged, not really believing what I was telling him. "I know you're trying to be positive, but not many people survive this shit. Thanks though, kid. I like you guys. You've all been so welcoming and kind to me, and I honestly don't see why. I mean, I'm late to almost every meeting I've had with you all. I'm a hot fucking mess. You may be a hot fucking mess, but so am I. You're a harbinger too, Baker. Once you're one of us, you always will be one of us," I told him, and Baker smiled. As we were getting ready to leave, Baker stood by the door and tapped my shoulder before I walked out. I looked at him. I never told you my real name." "I don't think I've told you mine either." "I'll go first then. The name's Abel. Abel Prescott." He held out his hand for me to shake, and I took it with a smirk. "I'm Evan, but everyone calls me Jadisable."